This one, we're going to be going ahead with a problem solving with programming workbook in section 11. This one is titled Season from Month and Day. It's the second question from part 1, which is conditional statements. So let's get into it. The year is divided into 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. While the exact dates that the seasons change vary a little bit from year to year, because of the way that the calendar is constructed, we will use the following dates for this exercise. Here we've been given a table which has season and first day as two columns. This table basically tells us that the spring season starts on March 20, summer on June 21, fall on September 22, and winter on December 21. We've been asked to create a program that reads a month and day from the user. The user will enter the name of the month as a string, followed by the day within the month as an integer. Then your program should display the season associated with the date that was entered. So it's pretty simple. Let's take this step by step. First off, what we need to do is we need to take our user input as an integer. So moving on to PyCharm, you can find this month tick that's already there written for you in the exercise because we'll be using this further in our exercise. This month dictionary is made just so that we can take the string month that is entered by the user and map it to its corresponding month number. Like January is month number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until month 12, which is December, just like our usual calendar years. So let's move on to step 2, which is to take user input. So they've asked us to take two kinds of input. The first input is, the day number as the month name as a string and the day number as an integer. But we're going to make this a little bit challenging for our own learning purposes. The first thing we're going to do is simply take data as an input, or maybe you could just call this date, and make that equal to an input, and simply ask the user to kindly enter a date in the format month, day. That's it. So once the user gives us this input, we want to move on to step 3. Step 3 is all about splitting the user input by the space and extracting the data into month name, day number, and month number. Let me explain what this actually is. As of now, let's just print out the date input that we've taken from the user. Here, the date could be something like March 21. And right now, this is just one string. What we want to do is we want to take the string and we want to slice both of these out of the string and store them in two different variables so that we can work with them. So now the question is, how are we going to slice these out? It's pretty simple to slice it out when you know what the input is, but you never know what the user is going to really type out. The month could be September, October, November, December, June, July, or any other month in the calendar year, which all carry different number of characters. For example, May simply has a length of 3 or just has 3 characters, and June has 4 characters. So we can't have a specific way or a specific slicing index to slice out the month out of the string. So what do we do here? We use this function called the split function. Let me show you. So let's create a date list variable and then use our date input that was given to us by the user and use the split function on it. And what we want to do is we want to split this date by the space that is between the month name and the day number. So what the split function does is it basically looks at what character or operator you want to split the string from, and then it splits the whole string wherever that character or operator occurs and makes everything else an item in the string. Let's take a look at it. Let me print out date list right here and run this. So our date is March 21, and when we press enter, now we have a string in our date list which splits this string March 21 from the space that we've mentioned here, and it creates a list with March as a string date as one item and 21 as a string number as another item of a list, so it becomes easier for us to access them. The next thing that we want to do is create three variables, which is month name. So month name is going to be March. So we access March by date list at position 0 because it's at the 0th position in the date list. Next, we want the day number, which is going to be equal to, well, date list at position 1. So date list at position 1. And finally, the month number. So we just have like two data points here. So what's the month number for? Exactly, right? So when we're going to be writing if-else statements to be able to build our logic to tell what season's there based on the month name and the day number, we really know that we need to find out the month number and compare the day number to be able to determine what season's going on during that date. So that's why we have this month dictionary. And as we know that dictionaries are a set of key value pairs and keys are always strings. And as of now, we have our month name as a string, stored as a string. So what we're simply going to do here is we're going to query or access the month number from the dictionary based on the month name. So that is going to be month dictionary. And we want to access inside the month dictionary the key which goes with the month name. So month name. So let's just print out month number once to check what we get here. So when I run this, and let's say I take a random month, maybe June. So June should be month number 6. So if I press enter, I should get 6 printed in the console. And now it says, well, hold on. List index out of range, which says date list at position 1. Why do we get this error? We get this error because the input is wrong and the program's still not doing any kind of error handling. So we need to run it again and type in June 21 maybe. When we press enter, it says June and 21, which is our date list, and also prints out the month number, which is June, by accessing the June key inside our month dictionary, which corresponds to the value 6. Pretty simple. Awesome. So we have all of our data in place, and now what we need to do is build the logic for, well, determining what season that is going on during the date that the user has entered. So the first part is going to be figuring out how is a program going to determine whether the date is a spring date. So for this, I've written down some really simple steps for us to form these conditions or understand the logic to these conditions, and we're going to be doing that step by step. Here you can see that we've written some kind of a pseudocode here to make us understand the conditions that go into the if-else structure of our program. For spring, what we need is the month number needs to be greater than or equal to 3 because, well, the spring season is between March and June. So if we look at our table here, spring starts on March 20, which is the third month, right? So 320, and is from 320 to June 20, which is 620. So your date needs to be from 320 or greater than or equal to 320 and less than or equal to June 21. Sorry, less than June 21 because you don't really want to include 21. So let's take a look at our conditions. Here, if the month number is greater than or equal to 3 and month number is less than or equal to 6, this means that the month is between March and June, right? So let's write that first. So if month number is greater than or equal to 3 and month number is less than or equal to 6. Awesome. So now we know that only if the month is between March and June or is March or June, the program control comes inside this if statement. Next, we have, you can see all of these are indented here, and I've done that purposely because Right now, we're going to be writing some of our first nested if statements. So let's take a look at it. So now, if the month is March, June, or between March and June, then we want to check if the month number equals 3, which is if the month is March and the day in March is greater than or equal to 20. Now, why do we check this? We check this because according to our table, the spring season starts from March, so the month number needs to be March, and the day number needs to be greater than or equal to 20, so that we know that if the user types something like March 1, the program shouldn't say that it's spring. The program should only say it's spring if the date is after March 20. And therefore, if the month number is 3 and the day number is greater than or equal to 20, we can tell that it's spring. So here, inside our if statement, let's write another if statement, which is if month number equals 3, that is, if it is March, and the day number is greater than or equal to the 20th of March, then you simply want to print the season is spring. Awesome. Now, the next one, which is if the month number equals 6, which is if the month is June, and the day number is less than 21, which is if the month is June and the day is lesser than the 21st day of June or is before the 21st day of June, then it is spring. So you know that you already have a condition that says that, well, the month is between March and June. And then you have also set a condition that if the month is March and the day is on or after 20th of March, it's spring. But now the condition that you're trying to solve or code out is if the month is June and the date is before the 21st of June and not the 21st of June. So that would be if month number equals 6 for June and day number is less than 21, then you print the same thing, which is the season is spring. So I'm just going to copy and paste that right here. Awesome. So we've completed two conditions. Now for the final one, which is if the month is either April or May, right? So if the month number is greater than 3, so if the month is above March, but the month is less than June, so if the month is April or May, then it is obviously spring. And here we don't need to worry about the day. So we just write if month number is greater than 3 and month number is less than 6, then we simply want to print the season is spring. Let's check this out. Once I run this, it asks me for the month and day. So I'll write March 20 and it gives us an error. It says the greater than or equal to sign is not supported between instances of string and integers. Now, why is that so? That is because right here, the month number is still, this is on line number 32. So right here, the day number is still a string because the day number has been extracted from a string list and this is still a string. So we need to typecast this into an integer right here. So our day number and month number are both integers. So if we run this code again and write something like March 20, it should say the season is spring. Awesome. Let's try another date like April 15th and it says the season is spring. Let's try June 21 and it says nothing because, well, from June 21, it's a new season that starts. If we write something like March 1, it doesn't say anything. So our logic is pretty tight and it's the right logic. Now we can move on to the next one. So if you've understood this logic properly, you can go ahead and pause the video and code this whole question out by yourself. It's pretty simple. And let me know if you're able to do it by yourself. If you want to still code along with me, well, just continue and we'll just go on with it. So let's move on for the logic for our summer. Now it's going to be pretty simple. So when we look at the summer season starts from 21st of June and goes on before September 22nd. So from 6/21 to 9/22, right? So now here, I'm simply going to copy this code. We don't really need to type the code out again and again. In this case, the month number is going to be, well, June. So if the month number is greater than or equal to 6, right? So if the month number is greater than or equal to June and the month number is less than or equal to 9, which is September. So if the month is between June and September, right here, then we want to check if the month number is June and the day number is 21, is greater than or equal to 21. Why so? Because if the month number is June and the day number is greater than 21 or equal to 21, that means it's already summer. So if month number is 6 and day number is greater than or equal to 21, then the season is summer. Similarly, if the month number is 9, which is September, and day number is less than September 22, then it is summer. And finally, if the month is between June and September, then the season is again summer. Pretty simple. Let's try that out. So I'm just going to write June 1. Now this should be spring. It says season is spring. Awesome. Now if I write June 21, it says the season is summer. If I write July 15th, again the season is summer. If we write September 1, the season is summer. And finally, September 21, again summer, and September 22. This should not be summer. And well, we don't get an output because it's not summer and we've not coded the logic for fall or winter yet. So that was it. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to do the same thing. Just copy the code, paste it right here, and move on to the logic for fall. So if we take a look at the fall data right here, fall starts from September 22 and ends on December 21. So on the month number 9 and day number 22 to month number 12 and day number 20, which is less than 21, right? So it's pretty simple. Let's follow our guide right here. So if the month number is greater than or equal to 9, which is if it is September or if it is after September, and if it is December or before December. So if the month is between September and December, then we need to check for September and December individually first. So first off, let's code our first condition, which is if the month number is greater than or equal to 9 and the month number is less than or equal to 12. Now, if the month number is September and the day number right here, so if it's September and the day is greater than or equal to 22, so if it is greater than or equal to the 22nd of September, then the season is fall. Then if the month number is 12, that is if the month is December and the day number is less than 21, right? So here 21, the season is fall. And finally, if the month number is between September and December, but not September and December, then the season is fall. Perfect. Let's try this out. So September 21, it says season is summer because, well, September 21 is still summer and fall starts from September 22. So let's run this again. September 22, and now it says the season is fall. That's awesome. Let's try November 12, and the season is fall again. October 1st, the season is fall. And then finally, December 25, it doesn't say anything because fall ends on December 21. So we'll just try it out once more for December. So December 20. And well, now it says the season is fall. That's amazing. So now that this is done, we finally go to the last one for this, which is logic for winter, which is slightly different. So the logic for winter right here, we need to check if the date lies between December 21 and March 19 or before March 20th, right? So the code kind of changes here, but we still use the same code template that we built for the first one. So now we want to check if the month number is 12 is less than or equal to 12 and month number is less than or equal to 3. Now why so? So we're checking if the month comes before December or is December and the month comes before March. Why? Because simply the winter season is from December, which is month number 12, and we just have 12 months, so we can't check for any month greater than 12, right? So if it is on December, which is if the month number is 12 or less than 12, and the month number is 3 or less than 3, which is it's either 12, 1, 2, or 3, which is it's December, January, February, March, only then we need to tell the user that, you know what, it's probably winter. So let's go ahead and code this. So now, if the month number is before December or it's December, and month number is before the third month of our year, then we know that it's going to be winter. So, well, if month number is less than or equal to 12, remember you need to change the condition here. It is not greater than or equal to anymore. And the month number is again less than or equal to 3, which is March. Then if the month number is, well, 12 and the day number is greater than or equal to 21, so if it is December and day number is greater than or equal to the 21st of December, then it is winter. So the season is winter. If month number is 3, which is March, and the day number is less than 20, so before March 20, then the season is winter. And let's get that right. And finally, if the month number here is less than 3, which is if it is before March, and it's greater than or equal to 1, which is it's either January or February, then it's winter. So if the month number is less than 3, again, remember that this condition is not the same. You need to change this from a greater than to a less than symbol. And the month number is again greater than or equal to 1, which is it's either January or February. Then the season is winter. And well, we should be done with it by now. So let's try this out. So December 15 should still be fall. And that gives us an issue. It says key error December. Again, we've not done a lot of error handling in this program because the program doesn't really ask us to do that. But well, it's always good practice to do error handling. This error basically says that I've typed December incorrectly. So it doesn't see a key which is named December the way it's spelled, which is December. That's the wrong spelling. And we just have December. So the keys don't match, and well, it doesn't find the key inside the dictionary, so it just simply throws an error. Let's run that again and type the right spelling. So that's December 15th, and that is fall. Awesome. Now let's try another date for December which falls in winter. In this case, that could be something like December 25. And well, our program really doesn't give us an output for that. Why is that so? That is because the month number here, the condition here, the first condition here says that the month number is less than or equal to 12, which is it's either December or before December, which is okay. It says, and the month number is also less than or equal to 3. So the question is, how are these two conditions going to be true at the same time? Because if the month number is equal to 12, then the month number cannot be less than 3. So we could just change this to an or statement, and we could also make this an equal to statement. So now, if the month number equals 12, or the month number is less than or equal to 3, then we do our usual checks again. And now if I run this and write December 25, press enter. Now it says the season is winter. Now if I type something like January 1st, the season is winter. Something like March 1st, the season is still winter. So guys, that was pretty much it for this one. We've completed all the seasons and have done justice to this table. What we also did here was use the split function and kind of taking the input in our own way from the user, which was a little more complicated than what the question asked, just for, well, the sake of learning how to use the split function properly in a more problem-solving fashion. If you guys have any questions, as always, just put them down in the comment section below, and my team or I will get back to you ASAP with the best solution possible. Until then, just have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.